How much do you want to pay for the NFL and college football season? You decide how much you want to save. Right now, WagerTalk is offering their lowest price for the 2021 NFL and college football seasons. From now through the start of the regular season, we are offering special early bird pricing, but these prices will increase by $20 per sport and $30 for the college football and NFL combo every week until the season kicks off. Save up to $200 this week by buying your favorite WagerTalk capper for the package, and remember, the longer you wait, the less you save.
Welcome in here, guys. Happy, Jesus, what the hell is today? Wednesday, Thursday? I don't even remember. It really doesn't matter. It's Game 6 of the NBA Finals, which means could very well be the final NBA tip-off show of the 2021 season, but we may very well be back in a couple of days as well. It all depends on what happens tonight. Game 6, guys, you know it. Milwaukee at home looking to clinch it out and get it done, up 3-2. And we, in anticipation that this, in fact, may be the final NBA tip-off show, we've brought all our own all-star team here, guys, here today, including the three gentlemen you are used to seeing here on a Wednesday, Ski Prophet, Tony Mejia, and Rob Bino. And then we threw in a couple of other guys. Those guys, you know them well. Steve Merrill in the house with us. Look at him. He's already brought props, Ski. Good Christ, this is going to be some show.
Weird.
And the man, Tony Finn. Tony's already half in the bag, too. He's been drinking since noon. So this is, like I said, this is going to be a fantastic all-star edition of the NBA tip-off show. Ski, I'm coming to you first, as we normally do. Talk to me, my friend. What do you got going on at WagerTalk.com? That's first and foremost here on a Tuesday, but also your thoughts about the last game that we saw there, one that watched Milwaukee win on the road. What do you think?
We finally got a team to win on the road, so we'll see if we can get it again tonight. But what stood out to me was Chris Paul was looking like a child, man, on defense. Like, he just couldn't do anything. So we'll see if he can be a little bit better tonight. As far as what I have going on, I haven't made a selection yet. I think I won 4 out of my last 5 in MLB. So I am going to have a couple plays for that later on today. And I'll also have some plays for the game shortly after the show.
All right, there you go. A lot of reasons to head over to WagerTalk.com, including the Olympics coming up. And this next man, he going to be all over it, Mr. Tony Mejia in the house. And Tony, welcome in, man. Happy Tuesday. And what do you got going on? I know you got the Olympics coming up, man, but what do you got going on at WagerTalk.com right now?
The Olympics, unbeknownst to me, which was interesting, begins with soccer on Thursday. So I've got to start doing stuff tomorrow, I guess. Yeah, I mean, like, ridiculous. And we're still on the Gold Cup and whatever. And I booked a flight to Las Vegas to enter the Super Contest or Circa or both, whichever I do. But I'll be visiting Tony Finn on at the end of August. So I booked that last night. And beyond that, just we're into Game 6 of the NBA Finals, and I didn't expect the Bucks to be up 3-2. I think this series is crazy because we didn't expect Giannis Antetokounmpo to be healthy, and he has been the entire series. And then we'll see what happens after Drew Holiday really took over Game 5. So we'll see what happens.
Well, it's the fact that you're on the way to see Tony Finn in any way, shape, or form means we should probably get a bail bondsman sponsor for the show. Rob Bino, how you been, my man? What is going on? Your thoughts about that crazy Game 5 there, and what do you got going tonight at WagerTalk.com?
Well, WagerTalk.com, real quick, Joe. I'm going to have a play on this game up and available later this afternoon. Probably right after we finish this show. But as far as the last game goes, you know, I banged into that brick wall, banged again, and finally broke through because the first half went flying over. It was a good night for me. I had first half and full game both over the total. It was the easiest pair of overs this series. And Chris Paul props all cashed except for one. I think points and rebounds was the one that didn't cash, but he got over points. He got over points and assists. He got over points, assists, and rebounds. Big fourth quarter to do it. I think he had 10 points in the fourth quarter. But, I'm a little surprised at the way that game ended with the amount of time that Phoenix had on the clock when they rebounded the ball and first pass to Devin Booker and just charged into 4 different colored jerseys and land of no return. Wound up losing the ball game. So we'll see what happens tonight here. It's been a hotly contested series. We'll go through it, I'm sure, as soon as we hear from Tony Finn.
You're right. We do eventually have to get to Finn, but not before we get to Steve Merrill, damn it. Merrill in the middle. He's been playing with his props the entire time, so we got to see what's going on at WagerTalk.com, my friend. And your thoughts quickly on what we saw with Game 5.
Yeah, obviously 2 historically good and bad performances by the Suns. Ralph Michaels tweeted out that it was only the second time in 32,000 NBA games I think a team had shot, over 50% from the field, 55%, 60% from 3, 90% from the line, and didn't win or cover or whatnot. And then, of course, Joe, you, Robin, and myself on Saturday on SiriusXM Channel 204, noon Eastern Saturdays, talked about how that was the first time in Game 4 in NBA history that something or another, I can't keep track of it. Basically, the Suns are shooting lights out and finding ways to lose. So, the concern obviously tonight is that they've lost 3 straight. It looks like it's over. But then again, they're still shooting and playing pretty well. So 2 ways to read about that and figure it out. We'll talk about it here in a moment. By the way, 65% chance this is the last show we do for the 2021 season, or the 2020 season, rather. 35% chance, according to the odds makers, that the Suns win outright as a 5-point road dog tonight. I'm making it more likely, though, the fact that you crammed all of us, including Tony Finn, onto one stage means we probably do have a Game 7, but we'll figure that out later. WagerTalk.com, I've got a great special. Get my NBA best bet and baseball best night tonight for free. In fact, get the rest of July for free. Hell with it. Get July for free when you sign up for August. Right now, Steve Merrill, WagerTalk.com.
Throw in September, too. To hell with it. Just get September, October. Every damn month there is. That's ridiculous. And Rob Dino's still trying to figure out, is that 3 cents a play? I don't know how that works out.
Rob
Tony Finn.
September free.
Tony Finn, my man, talk to us. You've got apparently company coming your way here soon enough there with Tony Mejia. But what do you got going on at Wager Talk tonight? What can we expect from you, man?
I'm waiting on a couple of numbers to change. If they do change, I'll have a couple. I'll have a play and a prop up for tonight's game, but they're not up yet. I do have a triple header in MLB up tonight. And, of course, I have only my second in the history of Wager Talk, my second late July, week 1 NFL game. I have released one.
Ooh.
And so it's up there. Yeah, and I suggest that you go grab this because it's the best number you're going to get. And no matter what happens, well, there's only one thing that could happen that could ruin that number for us. I think it's a long shot. So let's join me for week 1 with some
do it, man.
light sky and stuff like that. I don't know.
Let's do it. All right, guys. We are, hello. We got, of course we do. Why wouldn't we? We have, apparently, as we dive into this game, we've got an angle of the day, courtesy of our good friend John Ryan over at SportsMemo.com, who, listen, give credit what credit is due. His angles in the finals have actually proven to be pretty darn profitable here, and he's got one tonight as we're looking at this 9 p.m. Eastern time tip-off, and it says where the home team has held serve in the first 4 games of the series, and if the road team ended up winning Game 5 of that series, sound familiar? Well, then the road team is dressed as the underdog for Game 6, and if all of this happens, which it is, the over, 28-15, 65% winning bets the last 20 season. How about this? 13-5 over as a dog of 6 or fewer points, including pick'ems. And that's exactly where we find ourselves, according to John Ryan, betting the over in Game 6 right now. He feels that we have seen this before, 65% over the last 20 seasons when these things happen. And we're looking at about a 5-point swing right now, I guess. Yep, still at 5. It did go to 4.5 briefly in a couple of places. Looks like it's back up to 5. The total 223, which I believe has come down. I'm seeing a majority of 222s right now. So going against the market is John Ryan. And I want to take a quick look at the series price also while it's still up there, just so we can use this as a reference. And there you go. The Bucks just about a $4 favorite now to win this thing out in Game 6. The Suns, well, if they can win tonight, plus 320 in a Game 7. So, Ski, I'll come to you first here. On the road, Milwaukee been very, very, very good at home. We know this. You were shocked that a road team won Game 5. Would you really be shocked if a road team won Game 6?
I wouldn't be shocked, no. I did want to say I enjoyed hearing you decipher the John Ryan play of the day.
Yeah.
But, I wouldn't be surprised just because hearing the Suns talk after the loss, they didn't seem like they're down on themselves. They just seem like they were okay. It seems like Monty kind of keeps them even keel. So I think they'll come out focused here. And if I had to make a play on the side right now, I probably would play the Suns in the first quarter, getting plus 1.5 or something like that.
Yep.
I see them. If they don't come out early, I don't know when they're going to do it. So that's the way I lean for that. I'll focus more so on props, though. I'll name probably 4 of them that stood out to me. And the first 2, I mean, if you've been watching the series, how can you not notice it? Connaughton, he's hit 6 in a row over his 3-point prop. And in those 6 games, he's had 36 attempts, so plenty of volume for him. Cam Johnson, he's been great. He's been over his 3-point prop 5 of the last 6 games, like those 2. 2 other ones that kind of are on my radar. One I really like a lot. Middleton, 4.5 assists. I think he averages a little more than 5 in the playoffs. And he's gone over his assist prop, I think, 8 of the last 10 games. And the last one, it'll be kind of to fade Giannis. And the way I wanted to do it was just 3-pointers. In the playoffs, he's shooting less than 20%. And he's not really shooting as many anymore. He's 2 for 12 on the series. And he's kind of cut him down because he's not making them. He's only shooting like 2 per game. He's only 30% on the season. I like Giannis to not make a 3-pointer tonight at minus 125. So those are my props for the game, and that's what I'm rocking.
All right, so a lot of prop angles to shoot at this for sure, guys, and we'll do some. We'll have these guys. We'll corner them. We'll make them give us the one that's at the top of their list they like the most here. But Mihi, I'm going to come to you because we talked a lot about props. I believe last time you were on the show here, and it was interesting. One prop that did not hit last game for Chris Paul, which everybody seems to think was going to go over, was his turnovers. He had been pretty much a turnover machine for the third and fourth game. Not so much. I believe he had less than the 2.5 that they had posted on him. So how big does Chris Paul, in your mind, have to be tonight if they're going to win this and force a Game 7?
Well, it's absolutely interesting, Joe, like that he is taking a back seat to Devin Booker in one-on-one situations. Booker's the guy, and Chris Paul almost looks too small. And I think Ski said it in his intro. Like, we've seen him be picked on defensive situations to the point where like they're really like targeting him to be too small. So, I mean, like, yeah, we'll see what happens on that front. But again, like, Chris Paul has to have an amazing Game 6 to take this to 7. He did not in Game 5. He was okay. He was good. He had double-digit assists and obviously double-digit points. I think he did beat his points and assist prop. But, like, this is Chris Paul's finals. Like, Devin Booker's going to be here again. Chris Paul may not be with the Phoenix Suns again next season. Like, he's a free agent. So, like, what are you trying to do? What are you going to do? This is all about you. This is all about Giannis. And we're so deep into the playoffs. Like, look at what the Western Conference is going to be like next year. Yeah, Kawhi Leonard may miss the season with an ACL injury, so you knock the Clippers out of it. But you got the Lakers, you got the Nuggets with Jamal Murray back with Jokic, you got the Jazz, and you've got the a bunch of teams in the Southwest that can really play. So we'll see. This is all about what can you do for me right now, and if you're the Phoenix Suns, you need Chris Paul to have a huge game tonight.
All right, got to look for Chris Paul. I think we're looking at a correlation here between Chris Paul props and a Phoenix win here, Rob Vino. But talk to me here, Rob. We've seen 5 games here, and it's not like Phoenix has gone ice cold from the field because they're shooting at a ridiculous clip. The problem is they were the worst transition defensive basketball team this year. And that has been a big problem against the Milwaukee Bucks over these last 3 games. They're getting killed in fast breaks. They're getting killed on the boards. What can be done here to change that, if anything here, Rob, in your mind?
Yeah, none of that's changed for 4 games now, Joe. I mean, you can add to that list. You brought up 2 correct points. Obviously, fast break transition points have been in Milwaukee's favor, pretty big. Offensive rebounds, the last 4 games, 59-30 in favor of the Milwaukee Bucks. That's just a huge difference in a bunch of these games. Milwaukee shot, missed, second shot, missed, third shot. Even in the last game, an opportunity to run more time off the clock at the end with an offensive rebound off of a free throw. How about if we add in free throw attempts, guys? The last 4 games, ever since game 1, where Phoenix did have more free throw attempts than Milwaukee. The last 4 games have been 95-60 in favor of Milwaukee, plus 35 attempts. And give Giannis credit. The team in those 4 games overall has shot 71.6%. Giannis didn't make a bunch last game, but in between he made a bunch. They're plus 19 from the free throw line as far as points are scored. And then if we add in the turnovers, you talked about the turnovers before, Joe. Milwaukee's a plus 17 in that. The last 4 games, they've committed 34. The other side's committed 51. So free throw attempts, offensive rebounds, turnovers, fast break points, all that's going against Phoenix. And guess what? They could easily be holding up the trophy right now. They had an opportunity to win 2 games ago. They had an opportunity to win last game. It's not like they're out of these things, blown out. They were blown out in game 3, and that's it. So the series is pretty tightly contested because Phoenix shooting real well from the field. You can make a case both ways. Some folks will say, Phoenix shot as well as you can possibly shoot, and they still lost. And others will point out that they're always in every single game, no matter what these statistics say, and they are heavily favored to the side of the Milwaukee Bucks. A couple of quick things here real quick. First half bettors, if you're out there, Phoenix in the playoffs, 9-1 against the spread in the first half, including a victory in the first half the last time they were here in Milwaukee. Game 4. Other side of that coin, Milwaukee in the playoffs, 7-2 and a push in the first half. So you got 2 really, really good first half teams. And you've still got 2 opposite halves where points scored are concerned, even though the over got there in the first half last game. It's 1-4 to the under through 5 games. But the second half is 4-1 to the over in 5 games. So we've seen some opposite numbers there. I think it's an interesting game 5. I think it's a harder handicap than the game before was. We'll get the best bets in a little bit.
All right, so let me ask you this here, Steve Merrill. We just saw 242 points. The public saw 242 points. They're probably looking at the over in this game. We watched the line tick down here a little bit from 223 down to 222. What do you think of what we've seen from the market thus far?
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up the public because surprising to me, actually, the public on the side at least is leaning Phoenix in this game. You would have thought after 3 straight losses and seeing how they've imploded a couple games in a row, they would be on Milwaukee. But I'm actually seeing about 60% of the ticket count and everything I'm looking at here on Phoenix. So the Suns do look a little bit public, actually, surprisingly. And as you said, Joe, that line did drop from 5 to 4.5 back and forth in many locations throughout the day so far. The total, no surprise, are on the over heavy. They have been for most games. They continue to win. In fact, there's only one game that's really gone under this entire series all season. They've played 7 times now. The 2 regular season games both went over. The second one landed right on 232 at the end of regulation, which was the total. Obviously, the total is much lower for these playoff games in the low 220 range. Game 3 landed 220, could have gone either over, under, or push. Game 4 stayed well under, but as you, Rob, and myself talked about Saturday, the team shot 30 and 24% from three-point range on Saturday in Game 4, and it still only stayed under by like 8 points. And, I like the over. Rob liked the over in Game 5, and it shot over. So now you're losing value, and you always look for kind of a fade the norm, a mean regression. I think that's why there's some sharp money on the under here. But even with Rob Vino's money, I would not be touching an under in this series. It's over a pass for me still on the total. And obviously Phoenix's mindset from the side perspective is the key here. This is the team that came out and won fairly easily by 23 points in games 1 and 2, but then have been outscored since. And for the season, if you take in the 2 1-point wins in the regular season, I think Milwaukee's up on average over those 7 games, like less than 1 point per game. They've outscored Phoenix. So it's been a very tight series. 5 is the biggest point spread we've seen so far in Milwaukee. That line was basically 4.5 in both games, 3 and 4. So there has been an adjustment. But my big takeaway is I'm a little surprised the public is on Phoenix here. I would have thought that would not be the case. As far as player props, we'll get to them a little bit here in the show. As you said, I'll give a best bet. But obviously, Middleton off back-to-back big games. It'll be interesting to me to see if he can continue that. His total's at 25.5. He has regressed throughout the playoffs after 1 or 2 big games. Giannis, meanwhile, obviously has been unstoppable. He's now minus 400 for the MVP odds. Booker is now the second favorite at plus 500. And Chris Paul, who just a couple games ago was minus 270, is now over 6-1 just 2 games later. That is how bad Chris Paul has been recently. And that is exactly why the Phoenix Suns are facing elimination tonight. As Rob touched on and the other guys, Chris Paul has to play better. This is basically the biggest game of his career probably tonight, because it's pretty much over after tonight if he doesn't play well.
Yeah, no, that's there's a lot of ways to correlate this here, Tony, Finn. But let me come to you, because it seems like Phoenix has figured out ways to lose games that they very well should have won, and doing it in record fashion, because Steve mentioned earlier, we've had a couple of firsts in NBA Finals history. We've got a team holding one team below 42%, shooting over 50%. They lost in game number 4. And then poor Booker's got 40 points in back-to-back games, first time ever in the finals. We've seen a player on the losing end doing that. So it's not like they're getting blown out. How much faith do you have in the Phoenix Suns on the road to get the job done tonight?
Well, I think that you just spit it out. You couldn't tell the truth more plainly, more crystal clear. The trend, a team trend, winning the second quarter, going on to win the game continues. The Bucks outscored the Suns 43-24 in the second.
Great point.
You know, the Suns are 23, plus 23 in the first quarter. Bucks have pluses in all 3 other ones, plus 22, plus 1, plus 7, second, third, and fourth. Game 5 it's alarming. Here's what's most alarming to me. 21 fast breaks points in game 5. And that one with about 13 seconds to go, the Holiday to the freak alley-oop, that was I thought a gamble, and it turned out to be fine. I just thought it was a bad play, but that's just me. The Suns, the first team in history, first team to lose a playoff game, like you mentioned, 50%, 60% from the 3, with a minimum 5. And prior to Saturday, guys, teams had gone 35-0 when posting those shooting percentages. 35-0 in the playoffs. No team in playoff history had ever shot at least 55% from the field, 68 from 3, 90% from the free throw line, and lost. There are 3 consecutive games, guys. They've lost. They should have shot at least 51%, 51.6 from the field. It includes 55.2 in this game 5, 13 of 19 from the 3-point line. In games 3 and 4, they actually shot the Bucks and did the same 3-pointers in game 4 and 5. They still lost.
Okay.
Everything is about 2 things tonight, and that is the statistical difference here, because we got to throw all that crap out. I mean, who cares what the percentage is? They cannot get beat on the boards like they've gotten beat. That's the difference. You're talking about almost a total of I added up, and now I apologize, but it's almost 35 or some 30 to 35 different possessions or field goal attempts. That's a difference in these 3 games. Milwaukee has 200, I think, in total field goals, 214 to 212, but the last 3 games have been ridiculous. They're ridiculous. Since both teams they both made 63 pointers, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, the Suns outscored the Bucks in the paint in game 5 and lost.
Yep.
Booker had 20, I think 24. What was it? But he is the Greek, listen, some people talk about free throws. The truth is free throws, the Suns have 86 free throw attempts. The Greek has 66. The other Bucks, 45.
Yeah.
So I think if you look at those numbers, everything you guys have said, and you look at those, it's pretty simple. You can't get big. They have to leak. The Suns have to at some point trust that these Bucks are crashing the boards. And they're not even afraid that the Suns are going to leak and get some fast break points. You're going to have to gamble at some point, leak and do whatever you can. Grab shorts, grab jock straps, punch somebody in the nose. You get the rebound, you throw it out, and you get some buckets, and you keep them from crashing the boards. I don't know any other way that this Suns team, who in Game 3. Heading into Game 3, I said, "This is going to be a 4-0 sweep." The Suns are going to. I don't see it. The Bucks have no answer to this pick and roll, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wrong.
Yep.
Here we are.
I just want to go on record. I'd be willing to pay big money to see somebody pants Giannis when he's trying to crash the board on a rebound. If Jay Crowder just go over and drops his honestly, that would be fantastic television. The bottom line is, listen, there's a lot of ways to correlate these plays here. Phoenix has been very good, yet epically has figured out ways to lose game in a final that we have not seen forever. Now, having said that, let me ask you here, quick, Ski. We saw the series price with Phoenix. The public, like Merrill pointed out, is strangely on Phoenix here tonight for a Game 7. So if you like Phoenix, you probably like them also for the series going back home in a Game 7, or is it too much of a toss-up for you?
Yeah, that makes sense to me. I mean, they're like plus, 165 or 160, 170. And on the series, you get over $3. So they'll probably be a favorite if you go back to the house. So I'm in line with that.
Yeah, and that would be interesting to see if there is a Game 7. Real quick, Tony, if there is a Game 7, are we at a pick'em, or are we still, you think, going to be in that 4 or 5 number?
No, we'll be at 3.5, which I think is the right number. And then, if Phoenix gets to a Game 7, and we're talking about a complete conquest in a place where Milwaukee is 10-1 this postseason, and we're talking a different story than we're talking right now. So we're saying, wow, the Bucks choked away that opportunity, and the Suns took their heart and did this, and 3.5, 4.
It'd be 3.5, 4, which is pretty much what it's been the whole series, except for tonight while we're looking at a 5 number. Rob, before we get the best bets from the total perspective, are you entirely shocked that we're seeing it come down here a little bit and not up and over after what we've seen in the last game?
Yeah, I think it's continues to settle in about the same place each and every night, Joe. Now, this one at 222 right now, is that what we're looking at right now? I don't have it in front of me, but 222 is a little bit higher than it's been the past couple of games. In fact, we've seen, and not at the closing number, but throughout the time period between games, we've seen, 218s, 217.5s, then back to 218. So we've seen lower stuff here. But, Tony Finn, what he laid out there just tells you real quick that we're sitting here in Game 6 and people still can't stop what other people do well. The Bucks can't stop Phoenix from shooting 50% from the field. Phoenix can't stop Giannis from getting to the free throw line and getting points in the paint. And they can't stop Milwaukee from rebounding. So I don't know what would change about totals here, guys. I think the fact that the first halves fell under so often was flukish. And it wouldn't surprise me if this thing got over. But then again, you have to shoot the way they shot to get to 242 again. And I don't know that we're going to see that kind of shooting. If you tell me which way Drew Holiday is going to play on offense, then I'll tell you which way I'm betting. Because in the 2 games that guy's actually showed up to play offense, Milwaukee wins by 20, and they win outright on the road. The other 3 games, Drew Holiday's 15 of 55, less than 30% from the field, somewhere in the 20s. And, they lose 2 of those, and they probably should have lost Game 4 if not for a miraculous down 9 with 3 minutes left comeback. So, it comes down to simple stuff in some cases.
Merrill, real quick here. Would you be shocked if we saw late money come in for Phoenix here and move it down below that 5, or do you think we got a better chance of it looking the other way?
Oh, no. We're seeing 4.5s already as of Tuesday afternoon. I'd say and some of them are the sharper books that moved first. So we have 4.5s and 5 in the marketplace as we do this live Tuesday afternoon. So if you like Phoenix, lock in the +5. If you like Milwaukee, if you don't have 5 now, you very well could get a 4.5. So it's Milwaukee -4.5, Phoenix +5. Both are widely available right now. First half is 2.5. As Rob said, the first half over/under those much lower once again, 108.5 versus 113 for the second half projected. And I do think of some of that's just been random variance. So if you like the over in the game, you might want to take a stab with that first half over, get the discount. And by the way, if it goes back 7, it is definitely -4, if not higher. It's been 4.5 the past 2 games in Phoenix. That would mean the Suns win outright as a 5-point dog. It would mean they're now plus margin for the overall 8 head-to-head meetings. And home court in Game 7 of the NBA Finals or NBA playoffs in general has been over an 80% angle straight up for the home team. So I'd be shocked if it's not at least 4.5 if we have a Game 7.
All right, love it. And by the way, guys, over the last 10 years, Game 6 and 7, we are looking at 58% to the under, historically, at least over the last decade. All right, guys, do want to remind you quickly, Ski.
I got a quick question.
Oh, go ahead, Finn. Go ahead.
I'm showing, somebody correct me, I was trying to update on my props. I'm showing all the props are, like I'm at Penny, and all the props are locked out. Has something happened? Typically when they lock the props out, either there's been a change in a total or something happened. I'm just made a couple texts, but I'm not seeing anything. But if you guys if I'm wrong, if you're showing props or if it's locked out somewhere else, then maybe
I am showing you should pay your internet bill. You're pretty much disconnected. That's what I am showing. So I think the internet company's locked you out. So that's correct. Rob Vino will give us that in a minute, guys. I do want to tell you, though, of course, WagerTalk.com. Ski ready to go. He told you he'll have a play for tonight ready to go, as well as MLB. Tony Mejia will be locked and loaded all week long, not only tonight, but, of course, as we head into the Olympics. You've got Rob Vino ready to go here tonight. It's a great MLB card. Steve Merrill ready to go. Tony Finn. A lot of great ways for you to make it a profitable Tuesday night, including really a profitable entire week here. All you have to do is head over to WagerTalk.com. All right, Ski, coming back to you, my man. Best bet time here. Let's talk about it. Could be very well the last buzzer beater segment of the year. So you rattled off a bunch of props earlier. A lot of different ways to go here. Give us one that's at the top there. What do you got for us in 60 seconds?
Well, I do get 60 seconds to talk about whatever. So
you're damn right you do.
I did forget to mention. I just felt like the Suns kind of lost trust in each other. Way too much ISO ball, and you see it just results in losing because Devin Booker scores 40 points twice in a row and they don't win either game. And just to talk about public, who's on the public in this game, the referees, we didn't talk about it at all, but Scott Foster is going to be there tonight. It's interesting. I'm pretty sure everybody knows by now Scott Foster and Chris Paul. So it's interesting to me that they're still all betting the Suns. For best bet, I'm going to go with the probably least juice prop out of them all. And it's going to be Giannis really under. It's 0.5, so he can't have one three-pointer. He's shooting 14% on the series. He's not even really trying to shoot them anymore. He's shooting 2 or less a game. He's only shot 3 or more 1 out of his last 7 games. So under a three-pointer for Giannis.
Ooh, all right. He's fading a little Giannis from behind the arc there. So Tony Mejia. And by the way, I am seeing props listed in a number of spots there, Finn. So pay your internet bill. Tony Mejia, talk to us, man. 60 seconds, brother. Break it down for us. Where are you going tonight?
Yeah, I'm going to piggyback on what Ski was saying. I believe Scott Foster has produced 11 consecutive or maybe 12 Chris Paul losses in the playoffs, which is wild. I mean, that's not a coincidence. Just the way he referees those games. And then we've also seen 0 assists in the fourth quarter from Devin Booker in these entire NBA finals. So both those things will have to change if the Suns are going to win a finals game and get this back to Phoenix. I am on Chris Paul over 30.5 points and assists. I just don't see how he goes down without swinging. I don't know if LeBron and Adele will be out there to lend their support. But the bottom line is that Chris Paul needs to step his game up.
All right. Well, we've got legacy on the line for Chris Paul here tonight, and he is expecting him to show up and show out. So, Rob Vino, you are up next, my friend. 60 seconds. Where are you thinking about heading here tonight?
Yeah, I'm going to piggyback on what Ski said originally when this show first started, because he started spouting off stuff that was right in my notes here. I'm going to give you a couple of player props real quick. The first one is Pat Connaughton over 13.5 points and rebounds. I just don't know how this doesn't happen. The guy's been over 20 in 3 of the last 4 games. His rebounding effect has been immense on the success of the Bucks. So I like that one, only minus 15 cents. And then Cam Johnson over 11.5 points and rebounds. Again, to piggyback off what both Ski and Tony said, there was no passing to Cam Johnson. In fact, his field goal attempts the last 2 games have gone way down. I think he's put up 9 shots in the last 2 games, which is inexplicable why you wouldn't let this guy shoot the ball. But Devin Booker had 42 and 40. He feels like he's the man. Chris Paul kept feeding him until the fourth quarter when Chris Paul decided to go off himself and go 4 for 4 from the floor. But tonight, I think they have to be more team-oriented. So give me Cam Johnson also over 11.5 points and rebounds.
Oof, love it. Connaughton and Cam Johnson there. All right, Steve Merrill coming your way, my friend. Get the props ready. I know it. Here it comes. 60 seconds. Where are you going, Merrill?
First of all, reminder, you get July for free. My NBA best bet tonight and my baseball best bet. A easy over 26-run winner last night in baseball. It's just fantastic right now. Get July for free when you buy August. And that includes football next month as well. August, you get July for free. Steve Merrill, WagerTalk.com. I'm going to look at Middleton under 25.5 points for this game 6. I look for him to regress a little bit. He's had huge games 4 and 5s. Playoffs are all about adjustments. When a guy burns you once, they try to stop him. They got close to stopping him, but he still snuck over with 20. After that 40-point game 5, he snuck over with 29 points in game 5, rather 40 in game 4. They won't let that happen again. I think Giannis could actually have a big game. I'd stay away from Giannis. He probably goes over. Holiday also had a big game. So I think Giannis has a big game tonight, but Holiday and Middleton both regress. I like Middleton under 25.5 for that reason. Also, you pointed out a great point, Joe. Game 6 and 7s do tend to the under more defensive focus and intensity. That would also help the under 25.5. I throw it to Tony Finn. He gave me the rainbow ball back, as you all saw earlier. I'm calling right now on his flip phone.
Oh, good
Check
God.
about the internet outage.
Oh, Jesus.
Stager Tony.
Oh, God.
Props available, so I'm not sure what's going on.
Where's my easy button?
Did Merrill say something?
Man, he busted out a Motorola flip phone and a pager, Ski. Like, good God almighty. Go ahead, talk to me here. Tony Finn, you got it. 60 seconds. Just come a little bit closer to the camera, too, if you could.
Did Steve Merrill say something? I didn't hear anything he said. Did he say anything worthwhile? Oh, there he is calling my other phone now.
I'm calling it now.
Calling my other phone.
Oh,
yeah, no. Oh, you know
Room
what,
service! Room service!
Listen to this.
You need pillow?
Quickly, two props for you tonight. I did get my props back up. I don't believe Milwaukee's going to do anything differently. And so how come 31.5 points is even a number for Devin Booker? Over 31.5 points for Booker. And when it comes to consistency on the Milwaukee side, if you want to lay minus 600, you can play, Greek Freak and a double-double. That's a given. That's free money, but I'm not going to do that. But Drew Holiday, over 8.5 assists. Listen, there's one thing. He hasn't been consistent shooting the shooting the basketball, but he has been he's dishing dimes consistently. So those two I really like is over 31.5 for Book. Holiday over 8.5 assists. I lose.
All right. I don't know what that is. I kind of like the whole camera thing here.
What's wrong with the camera thing? I can't see.
I can't. No, I'm good. I'm good, man. I am absolutely good. All right, guys. Just to recap, and if Will was able to get all of this, I'm going to be shocked. Look at this. Look at Will, man. Unbelievable. Shout out to
Looks
our
like John Ryan's angle.
esteemed graphics coordinator as he nails Ski Profit and Giannis under 3 points. Man, you don't think you're going to make a damn one, may not even try one. Mejia likes Chris Paul over the 30.5 points and assists. He has done that actually a lot here. Rob Vino gave you 2, guys. Pat Connaughton over the 13.5 points, rebounds, and assists. And Cam Johnson, by the way, over the 11.5 points and rebounds. 2 guys that are going to play big roles here tonight for both these teams. Steve Merrill, Chris Middleton, going to fade him a little bit here under the 25.5 points. Tony Finn says Booker, take it, over 31.5 points. And also Drew Holiday, over 8.5 assists. Our good friend John Ryan agrees with pretty much what the trends tell us over the last decade. Game 6 and 7s, well, they go under, but not John Ryan. He's going over 222. That's right. No, to hell with the trends. He's going over 222 here tonight. And guys, just a quick reminder, Ski, Mejia, Vino, Finn, Merrill. Guys, visit their page at WagerTalk.com. Plays locked and loaded here, not just tonight, but of course those 3, 7, and 30-day all-access packages ready to glow. You got NFL coming up. You got college football coming up. A lot of reasons, guys, to head over to WagerTalk.com today. So this could be our last NBA tip-off show of the year, but if it's not, we'll be back for Game 7, breaking it all down for you once again. On behalf of Ski, Tony Mejia, Rob Vino, Steve Merrill, and Tony Finn, guys, best of luck with your plays tonight. No matter what you do, have some fun with it, make a few bucks. And if there is a Game 7, come back and join us again in a couple of days. Best of luck with your plays, guys. We'll talk again soon.
With the WagerTalk one-day Power Pass, you receive every play from every betting consultant for one day at the ridiculously discounted price of just $1.99. What's better than one day of great games? Watching, following, and winning those games. Get your sportsbook edge with the entire WagerTalk team of handicappers with this one-day Power Pass, every WagerTalk expert in every game they release for just one day. Your WagerTalk one-day Power Pass is right here, and it's yours for just $1.99.